The AfriEvolve project aims to build the capacity of green NGOs in Africa. The project has two clusters, the West Africa cluster and also the East Africa cluster. The East Africa cluster consists of Nature Kenya, Nature Tanzania, Nature Uganda. And the West Africa cluster is made of Ghana Wildlife Society, Naturama, and SOS for it. The project is funded by NABU together with BMZ, and the main aim is to help build the capacity of these NGOs that I've mentioned their names, so that they'll be able to, one, improve on their organizational development, and also the kind of activity that they deliver on field to be able to improve it. So the activities that the Ghana Wildlife Society implemented can be grouped into three. The first one was about our own organizational development, where we participated in a lot of programs which were organized by NABU, a lot of online sessions on organizational development and also on climate smart agriculture. The second component is on peer-to-peer visits, where we actually undertook visits to our sister NGOs in the West Africa cluster so that we could learn from their experiences. And they also taken a reciprocal visit to Ghana to also learn from what we are doing. The third component of the project was to build the capacity of the communities that we are working with. And in building their capacity, our focus was on helping them to adapt to climate change. Under this component, the first activity that we undertook was to set up a solar-powered irrigation system, a garden for the women in that area so that they'll be able to cultivate during the dry season. Another activity that we undertook under this component was to train the women and also the larger community on diversified agri-production, where we introduced some new varieties of maize, new varieties of groundnut, which are drought resistant, which are early maturing and also disease resistant. So through the agricultural extension agents operating in those areas, we trained these women and also supported them to acquire seeds for these particular crops so that they'll be able to cultivate and get the required yield. We also train them on soil and water conservation measures, where we train them on mulching, construction of barns, and so on, so that they'll be able to improve on their soil. We also taught them how to apply fertilizer in a way that is sustainable, and also develop compost for their own farms, so that these women can undertake measures which are very climate friendly. For the solar-powered irrigation system, so the women cultivated tomato and okra. So we help them to be able to cultivate tomato and okra. And as we speak now, they've harvested 2 cycles of okra and they have harvested 1 cycle of tomato. The training components of the project involve training over 100 people, one in soil and water conservation measures and also in diversified agricultural production. And so far, because our focus on targeting the women, more than 50% were women. And these measures are measures that some of them implemented in their fields during the last rainy season. And we made sure that our agricultural extension officers go around their fields to ensure that they are implementing correctly what they learn at the training. In terms of successes, I will say that our ability to set up the solar-powered drip irrigation system is our major success. In that community, that is one kind of thing in the whole of the enclave, and it's actually attracting a lot of visitors to that particular site. So that is our major success. In terms of impact of that particular system, I mean, currently in the dry season, our women are busy trying to cultivate their okra, trying to cultivate their tomato, and it's a very lively sight to see. And in terms of impacting on the environment, the whole idea is to reduce the dependency of these communities on the park. And it's the dry season that people actually try to trespass or move into the park, because in the dry season, a lot of people don't have activities to undertake. So this kind of garden, engaging the people, actually reduces their dependence on the park. this project has been very beneficial to the communities. The women of Mognori are able to cultivate in the dry season, and they are very, very, very happy. The people that we train on the climate smart agriculture and diversified agricultural production are also very happy that we could train them on this, and also the support that we gave them to be able to implement these activities on their own farms has been very, very helpful to them.